Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today, this September 17th, 2025, which reflects National Constitution and Citizenship Day, representing the day in 1787 in which the United States Constitution was signed by those in attendance at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. And today, being Constitution Day, serves as a perfect time for us to discuss the state of civics education, engagement, and media literacy in the state of Connecticut. I'm State Representative Kevin Brown, but more importantly, I am Mr. Brown, high school civics teacher at Craig Compsci High School. And in 2023, in statute, we formed a task force, in part due to the work of myself and my good colleague, Representative Frank Smith of Milford, who put together a bill that created a task force that would study the need for civic education, civic engagement, and also media literacy in the state of Connecticut. And through that work, we have now produced a report. Task force was assembled. We met over the course of about a year, from the spring of 2024 until the spring of 2025, and produced a report that fortunately and unfortunately shows that while we are doing some wonderful things in the area of civic education and engagement, there's a lot of room to grow. And so, given the current climate that we're facing, it's important to remember the brilliance of that document from 238 years ago was that it was not locked in to the needs and the desires of 1787. They made a document that was amendable, that could be changed, and literally wrote the words, in order to form a more perfect union. Perfection is not possible. To err is human. And so the fact that we continue to try to strive for a more perfect union is what matters most. And that's exactly what the task force was aiming to do. The role of the task force was to check the civic pulse of the state of Connecticut and our local communities, find out and identify what was working well, and more importantly, what we need to improve and where we need to grow. We also looked at our ability to seek and find information and the ability of our young and old alike to discern the credibility of that information. And especially in light of recent events, it's become increasingly clear just how dangerous the inability, people not having that skill of discerning credible information, when that goes underdeveloped, how dangerous that can be for our society. Civics, importantly, is a bipartisan issue. It's about learning the process of government, self-government. It does not instruct ideology. And regardless of how you view a particular political, social, or economic issue, we need to know how to attack those problems, how to solve those problems, rather than to just disagree. These things affect us all. So through our work on the task force, we found that while so much good is being done at the micro level with different communities and organizations across the state, more needs to be done at that macro level to make civic education more intentional. And I can't stress that enough. The need is that civics is a byproduct currently. It needs to be made more intentional. We need to take it serious and treat it with the importance that it deserves. As a high school civics teacher, I see it firsthand. I'm able to tie my own personal experiences within government into the classroom, but I recognize that for many of my colleagues in the field, it's a bit harder. They need and want more training, more professional development in the area of civic education and media literacy in order to bring that into their classrooms to provide students, our young people, with opportunities to participate, and most importantly, opportunities for them to see the value of their voice. So by engaging students when they are young, and providing them the tools of citizenship, we are making it much more likely that they will develop understanding, trust the process, and continue to participate in their communities well into adulthood I, for one, feel very strongly that we owe this much to our local, state, and national communities. And in a sense, we're paying our democracy forward so that it isn't just enjoyed by us, but also to our posterity.